Hello and welcome back to my channel. This vlog is going to be a semi-themed, semi-weekly vlog that I'm doing every weekend. But I have some wintry reads that I'd like to be getting to because it is fucking cold outside, and I've got like loads of Christmas markets and fairs and stuff that I've been doing, and I thought this would be a really great way to kind of show you some of the stuff that I've been up to over this festive season, and also talk about some seasonal reads, which felt really apt because obviously when I went to Gibraltar I was reading some hot and spicy reads, and I thought then some wintry darker reads would be really fun, and it very much feels right for the season. So I'm just going to quickly go over the books that I'm hoping to get to, and then once I've read something I will catch you up on that. Obviously with it not being November anymore, I can read multiple books at the same time, which is good because I feel like I do want to read all three of these at the same time. I feel like they're going to cover a variety of different moods, and I'm going to be house sitting and by myself. Although I'm working this weekend and I've got a Christmas market all weekend, I will have lots of time by myself this weekend, so I will have plenty of time to read. Whether I actually do that or whether I pick up Netflix, who knows, but I'm hoping to get some reading done. So to cover the books that I plan on reading, the first is Mystery in White. This was gifted to me by my dad a few years ago, and my dad doesn't buy me books very often, so when he does it's because something that he's interested in. But I very much believe in my dad's taste, and I think because it had that whole wintry mystery vibe, my dad and I spend most of our mornings together watching murder mysteries, so I feel like this was just like the perfect thing. I've read this before, but I don't think I ever finished it. I don't think I was as into mysteries, like reading them at the time, whereas now I'm very much in the mood for a cozy mystery. I feel like I'm going to get Agatha Christie vibes from this, and I'm really here for it. So that is the first one. The second one is the Treasury of Folklore, Woodland and Forests, and again it just seems to have that really autumnal wintry vibe, and considering it's a collection of short stories I thought it would kind of be perfect. Plus the illustrations are really pretty, and I'm probably going to get through this one quite quickly. One thing I should say is because this is a reread, this is technically a TBR vet, so I should be able to move a new book onto my shelf because I've cleared this one. This is not a TBR vet, this is a book that I bought this year, and I just think it's so pretty, and I want to be reading more kind of folkish tales things. And the last book I'm planning on reading is Winterwood. Now this was gifted to me by Ben, oh my god, 2 years ago. So I am so sorry, Ben, that I have not got to it yet. This would be officially a TBR vet next year. So I am reading it before that becomes an issue, but it is ticking off a read for a readathon. So actually all three of these are, because this is a Racing Stacks one that I can double up for Aurelium, and these two are Book Wanderers picks that I chose. So they're all very different. We've got a YA fantasy, we've got classic folktales, and then we've got an adult cozy mystery. So very different vibes, but nice short reads, kind of perfect for the season. And I'm really excited to get to all three of those. So in an attempt to make sure that I don't pick up any other random books along the way, I will only be taking these with me. The last few books I have been reading have been very intense male-centric fantasies, and I'm just not in the mood for that. My fear with that being that I feel like this is going to be very male-centric, but I'm hoping that the mystery element of that is going to keep me engaged and keep me kind of paying attention. And then these two are going to be far gentler, cozier reads. This is definitely a palate cleanser. If I don't finish this one over the weekend, I'll be really surprised. So that's kind of where I'm standing with the reading. As I said, I'm doing a Christmas market. Now I am going to include some B-roll from some other Christmas markets that I've done, because where I've been working so much, I haven't got a lot of footage to really show you, but essentially I collect stock throughout the year that I think would be perfect for these events, and then I do quite a few during Christmas. So Christmas is like my busiest time. I have not been selling as many books online this Christmas season intentionally because of postal strikes and things like that. So having all this stock and making sure that I have enough stock to then take with me to these events is really important, but I have a lot of stock. So once I'm done here, I've got to pack my car, then unpack it at this place that I'm staying so I can go through it all, make sure that I've got everything that I need, because I can't order any more over the weekend. So if I don't have enough stock, I'm going to be in big trouble. I don't think that's going to be a problem, but I just need to make I just need to make note of what I have, basically. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to tidy my room before I leave, because this is technically my parents' spare room. It's not my bedroom anymore, although I did pick this wallpaper and it is stunning. And so I'm going to go do that, and then I'm going to head over to the place where I'm dog sitting. I'm dog sitting and house sitting, and it's going to be really chilly and I'm going to be by myself, but I'm so here for the vibes. I'm so ready for it. So I will catch up with you in a bit when I've done some actual reading. This is really embarrassing, but I stayed last night at a friend's house and I forgot the little thing that you need to like de-ice your car. So I've borrowed their spatula. I have no idea if this is gonna work. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Life hacking away. Okay. This is gonna take me forever. I'm so embarrassed with myself. I'm actually embarrassed with how good a job I did. Like, come on. I'll have to show you more of this area, because where it is all covered in snow, it is so beautiful, but I don't want to risk doxing my friend, so I'm not going to show you where she lives. I am going to go to the market now. Like I said, I've got 20 minutes to get there, so I'm not worried about being late. Also, I've borrowed her gloves. I've fully like helped myself to her gloves because I left mine in the car, couldn't find mine. They were here in the car the whole time. So anyway, I'm a fucking mess and it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna go to the market now. I did read though, and I will tell you about that later. Should I read some more? I will tell you about that. I'm not telling you about that now because I can feel people watching me. See you in a bit. Okay, I am finally back from the market. I am finally done, and I thought I would just give you a quick wrap up. I thought I would just give you a quick wrap up of my day, my weekend, really, because I didn't get a chance to catch up with you yesterday. I didn't read anything yesterday evening, so it's fine. But I did say earlier that I would tell you about what I had read so far. So I have started A Mystery in White. It's a very gentle Agatha Christie style mystery, and I am enjoying it more than I remember because I had read it before. And I like the fact that there's a mixture of like ghost story with it. It's very like Turn of the Screw, The Lost Ones type thing, and I'm really enjoying that. I will just say, so with the market, usually we get like a couple of hours where people are like having lunch or they're relaxing, and you get to get some reading in. And I just didn't. I have not sat down for 2 days. My legs are killing me. I was exhausted yesterday anyway because of how much like we just didn't stop. But I brought 6 boxes of books, which had about £100 worth of books in each, and I have easily cleared 2.5 of those boxes in just one weekend, which is insanity with the amount of books that I sold. And it was so lovely to meet people. It was such like, okay, doggo. So I'm dog sitting. I will introduce you to Bobby. Come here, come here. There he is. There's the bubbles. There's the bubbles. So yeah, I'm dog sitting. Lizzie, my flatmate, is obviously, she's got it's her birthday today. So she is doing birthday sprints, and I am going to jump on those sprints. But I've told her that I'm going to be in the comments. I don't think she realises I'm going to be there. So it'll be nice to see her face. I haven't seen her in a while. And I'm going to get some reading done. I'm hoping to read, at least finish the Mystery in White and then start Winterwoods. I'd brought the folk tales with me because I really thought I would get a chance to read, and I just didn't. So I've still got time tomorrow to fit in some more wintriness before I need to get back to reality and back to my parents' house, and then finish the vlog that I started over there, which I'm not going to spoil in this one, but it's on its way. And I'm reading loads, and it's lovely. It's nice to be able to read more than one thing at a time for a change, because obviously if you watch my November wrap up and TBR, I was only reading one book at a time, which is why the vlogs were a bit shit and I didn't end up posting them. We're back on it. We're ready for festive season. It's pretty much Christmas for me now. This is it. That was the last market that I had. So I'm all done. I'm all done. So I'm going to go, I'm going to read, I'm going to chill, and I will see you when I have something else to tell you about the books that I read. So I brought my tripod with me so that I could like film catch-ups with this for this vlog without actually having to like hold my camera. And I can't remember where I've put it. So we're just going to sit next to this really cute bookcase, and I'm going to tell you that I finished Mysteries in White yesterday, and it was so boring. The ending was so convoluted, and they just kept throwing more and more characters, and it was a real shame because like it was a real gentle read, and I can absolutely see why in my head I didn't enjoy it as much last time. And I was like, oh, well, maybe I just didn't give it a chance. No, I did. I just didn't remember how it ended. So you've got this bunch of characters that are really lovely. They all meet from a train. They go through the winter. They like get stuck in a snowstorm, have to get off the train, find this old house, start solving a mystery. Now, one of those guys is an older guy who is like part psychic, part detective, with all the charisma of a wet bag. He's obnoxious, and he keeps talking to people like they're fucking idiots. And then there's like casual misogyny where the women aren't allowed to be involved in the mystery, and there's casual racism because they've got gollywogs and stuff like that. And I know it's like of that time, not the fucking point, didn't like that, gave me a massive ick. And then like they just keep piling on more characters, and it's like, but the whole time this guy's like, and I knew they were involved. How could you have known that this like the murderer who did it was the guy who owned the house's grandfather's nurse, who was the sister of someone else? How'd you get there? It's never explained. And I'm just like, well, that was a fucking waste of my time. So I was a lot more forgiving when I was sleepy. Now that I'm more awake and like angry and tired, no, I'm not as forgiving as I was yesterday. Sleepy Hannah was much nicer. I'm gonna go. I've got a bit of work to do before I leave today. I'm still looking after the doggo, but his parents are coming home today, so I'm gonna get a bit of work done. I'm going to read the folk tales because they're gonna be a far gentler read, and then I might start Winterwoods this evening, or I might wrap up and see how I feel after the 2 books, because I'd like to get this vlog out pretty quickly. But yeah, I just thought I would let you know that I finished it and it was shit. So I was really awoken by my cat pulling my braid out. So I don't know if you can see that, but it has come out all the way to here, and then obviously this one is like still pretty flush. I mean, other than like this little bit here, like this is like fully coming away from my head now, whereas this one's still quite tight. So I've decided, I've had these in for like a week now, and as they've been like suitable for this winter vlog, out of my way and like neatly done by Laura from Versastyle, I'm going to take them out. I'm going to take the green out. I'm going to just deplat. It's going to be a wild tangled mess, but I thought it'd be a good way to wrap up this book and tell you my first impressions of Winterwoods, because I did start it, but I'm not massively enamoured with it. So I'm just going to we'll start with this one, right? So this is the Treasury of Folklore for woodlands and tales. And I guess whenever I think of treasuries and anthologies, I always imagine it's more going to be, I always imagine it's not just going to be a case of, my hair's going to be so curly. It's not just going to be a case of a collection of like tidbits. It's not going to be like a textbook almost. It's going to be a collection of stories, a collection of personal anecdotes. It is going to be a treasury. It's going to have some emotive language. And this one really didn't. It felt really dispassionate about the things that it was talking about, and it had loads of like fairy tale myths and like interesting things about trees and the mythology around trees, which was all very interesting, but it was very basic and it was very kind of, yeah, dispassionate. I found that really bizarre because it's not that it was poorly written, but it read more like if someone was like, right, I need you to write this over the weekend, find me every fact about a tree, like interesting trees, like yew trees, which like there was stuff like that I found really, really interesting. So there's a bit in it where they talk about a yew tree. Oh god, like my hair is so, there's so much hairspray in this that it's like rock solid in places. Like I found this stuff about like the yew tree, for example, really interesting. So yew trees are associated with death. They're often found around cemeteries. It used to be believed that you had to put like a branch of a yew tree in a coffin to stop the dead from walking. I mean, that's just, I'm so sorry you had to see me literally just pull fake hair out. That's so unappealing. I'm so sorry. I didn't think this through. I did not think this through, that when I was taking this hair out that it would be so unpleasant to watch. I'm so sorry. I thought it'd be like a really nice thing, like I can sit here and unplait my hair and I'll just talk to you about trees. Anyway, God, I'm so sorry. So it was one of those things where like stuff like that was really interesting, and there's a myth around a woman who was arrested for treason, and she tried to hide in a yew tree, and now her spirit is kind of like tied to that tree, and supposedly on full moons she sends 4 headless horses out to kind of protect the tree, and it's seen as like a holy place, which is quite interesting. Like stuff like that's really fun. It's so jarring to like just pull hair out of my hair. I'm so sorry. Like I said, I'm really enjoying this though. I'm really enjoying how much it's like really committing to the curl. I wanted to wash my hair, but I might leave it for a bit. We'll see how we get on. So yeah, so stuff like that was really interesting, but for the most part it was like really dispassionate, and I would just kind of wanted there to be a bit more attachment to the people that it was writing about and the things that it's writing about, the mythos and stuff like that, like just in general. And it made me think, so Sandy Toxford did an almanac where she looked at interesting women from history, and like every day it was like a different woman and either their birthday or like an important date related to their life. This is so rock solid. I don't know if I'm gonna get braids again. This is a faff. They looked cute, but I don't know if braids are for me. I got them done because a friend of mine does them. It's like her business is, she does like hair braids and like wedding hair and stuff, and she was like talking about doing like Christmas hair, and I was like, well, this would be great for Christmas. And I was promised they would last a couple of weeks, which I'm sure they would have had my cat not decided. It was really funny. So my cat, I've got 2 cats at my parents' house. They can't come to Oxford with me, which is a real shame because I'd love them to come to Oxford with me. But one cat, absolutely terrified. This, moving like this, she didn't like that at all. And the other one just saw it as a challenge, saw it as a threat, and waited until I was asleep before he came for it. There is probably like an easier, less aggressive way of doing this, but I don't know what it is because I've never done this before. Okay. Oh, I wasn't even paying attention to this bit. What an absolute car crash. Okay, right, let's hear and untangle this for a sec. Yeah, so we're definitely meant to last longer. Okay, we've got loads of curls coming out. It's the crusty sound I'm really not enjoying. Jesus Christ, ow. Okay, that was an absolute nightmare. Getting that last bit out, I can feel like the gel and stuff that's holding it in place is so rock solid, and like the curls, lovely, love that. Gonna hate my scalp. Oh god, like it's like, it feels really weird. It feels like I've had a perm, and I don't know how I feel about that. But then underneath it's like really soft, and yeah, this is weird. I don't know how I feel about this. Anyway, it's, yeah, I don't know how I feel about this, but that's not, this is just meant to be whilst I wrap up, so I'm going to go back to wrapping up. Let's move on. God, there's so much hair. There's so much hair. Just green hair everywhere. I thought, let's go green, let's go festive, because I can't dye my hair. Well, I can dye my hair, but I really struggle to dye my hair because my hair goes really, like if I try and put colours in it, obviously you have to bleach it first and make it go all blonde. Mine goes this really hideous bright orange colour. Like, it's not even like a gentle ginger, it's straight up ginger, which I don't massively love. And then I try and put colours in it and they never really take, so I don't know. I have to either pay a lot of money to get a professional to do it. I can't really do box dye. So I thought if I got coloured hair put in, it would look lovely, which it did, but I don't know if all of this is worth it, you know? Anyway, let's move on to Winterwood. And I'm not going to show you the whole process of me taking this out, because this side was hard enough as it is. But I will show you what my hair looks like once it's all out and cut. I look like I'm wearing one of those like Charles I wigs. Anyway, right. So Winterwood. Winterwood was gifted to me by Ben, who has supported me since day dot. We met in a Discord for another booktuber who doesn't do booktube anymore. We don't talk about them. She who must not be named. But Ben was super lovely and gifted me a book for Christmas, and I think also for hitting my 100 subscriber goal. So I've had it a long old while, and I was reading a lot more YA when I first got it as opposed to now, and I've read like the first 3 chapters just to kind of get a general vibe of Winterwood. And it's not something that I would pick for myself now. I feel like it is very much of its time. I feel like it's very much, it has that same kind of writing style that like Twilight does, and like that gentle like, oh, but it's a mystery, and this is, you know, dramatic final sentence of the chapter, and it's a mystery, but there's also going to be magic in it, and I don't know how you feel about that. And it's like, I don't know. Like, some of those can do really well. Some of those I really enjoy, and then others I'm like, you didn't give what I needed you to give. You weren't really doing it for me. So I don't know how I feel about it, just like off the top of my... This one's coming out a lot easier. I can only assume. I'm also not trying to like pull the hair out as I go, which may have been my mistake last time. But I also think it helps that this one wasn't pulled out by my cat. I think that definitely helped. Whereas the other one was like a tangled mess. This one is falling apart a lot easier. That's quite funny. It's funny that I'm like, oh, this is really difficult. I hate this. Why would I get... Actually, I really like that, just like that. That's cute. Anyway, yeah, it's probably because my cat did it. But with Winterwood, I'm going to give it a couple more chapters. Now, disappointingly, there aren't any audiobooks. I was kind of hoping to squeeze it in as an audiobook for this weekend. And obviously, now that I'm back at my parents', I want to get back to the other vlog that I'm filming whilst under my parents' roof. So I'm not really in the mood for it right now. And that's not to say that I won't ever be in the mood for it. I'm just not in the mood for it right now. So I might give it a couple more chapters and see how I feel, but it may be a partial DNF. And then I will give myself until the end of the year to see if I come back to it. And then if I don't, I might unhaul it. Just because I'm sure it'll be great. I'm sure it has its target audience, but I don't think I am that target audience. So rather than just like shit all over a book that like clearly wasn't for me, I'm just going to not do that and just not read it. But yeah, so I'll give it a couple more chapters. But once I'm done with this tangled mess and I have shown you the car crash that is my head of hair, because I've got so much hair. This is the thing, is I thought I'll get braids because it'll get it out of the way and it will look cute for Christmas. And I didn't want them to start as high, to be honest, because I don't want my hair to fall out. I'm not going to put braids in that are like there for like a long period of time, and I didn't want to have like so many braids that it was like a bit sus. I just wanted something cute, and it made me feel a bit like a Viking, I'm not gonna lie. Right, let's just get this last little bit done and then I will wrap up. It's giving, it's giving Charles the First. It's giving, what's that? Is it set at Marseille? Versailles. It's giving Versailles. You know that the French aristocracy, big wigs. It's interesting, isn't it? It's it needs fixing, and I've got like the hairspray and gel is so thick that I feel like I'm pulling it out in clumps. The normal thing I would do is like run my hand through my hair like that. It gets to here, and then there are just lumps. Oh god, like everything is sticky. I'm so sorry to people that get their hair braided on a regular basis, or like have braids for athletics, or just generally, no, look at that massive clump of glue, get their stuff done on a regular basis. I don't know that it's for me. I don't know if I can take care of my hair well enough to look after it. I forgot to sleep in the nylon hairnet thing like on the third night of having them, so they were already hella messy. To be fair, that second one was so much easier to get out than the first one was, and I can only assume it's because it wasn't attacked by my cat. So let me find a scrunchie with the big clip. There you go. It'll do. It's got it out my face. That bit tried to escape, but we'll just tuck that back onto here. There we go. Right, okay. Brilliant. So, yeah, Winterwood, probably not for me. So overall, I've had another one of those vlogs where generally I don't know if I massively recommend the books that I've read for it. Didn't love the murder mystery one. I was so disappointed. It had such a good setup, it had so much potential, and then just didn't pay off. It just really let me down. The Treasury, again, the vibe just wasn't there, and I just felt like it was really dispassionately talking about these things that I care about, and I found that really jarring. And Winterwood, I think, is just a bit too YA for me and my mood right now. So overall, very disappointed. But she's here, she's vlogged, she's made an absolute car wreck of her hair, so if nothing else, the B-roll will be interesting. Let me know in the comments down below, what kind of seasonal reads do you think I should do next? If I was to do a spring reads type vlog, what books do you think should be on that list? If you just want to let me know that you were here, feel free to leave a little snowman or snowflake. Treat yourself to something from Waypoint because it supports me and my content, and most importantly, have a nice day.